Hi, we will be discussing job evaluation and workflow analysis in this chapter. And in this chapter, I have divided it into three main parts, which is why job analysis is important. Second part will be the role of human resources in the job evaluation. And the third is the nature of job analysis information. Okay, so what do a manager and supervisor must know? So the supervisor and manager must have a sound human resource management program, which means that they must have a comprehensive picture of each job in his organization. And when we say comprehensive picture of each job, it means that they have to know what each worker does or what each employee does. So unsa ilang ginabuhat in every day, how he does it. So giun sa pagtrabaho, why he does it, under what conditions and special qualifications. So the analysis of the organizational structure is the vertical and the horizontal interconnections among jobs. So you will see that there is a vertical and horizontal interconnection. They are all interconnected. We must have a thorough understanding of how one job relates to those above the organization and those down the line of the organization and those at the same level of the functional areas. So, analysis of the organizational structure can be used to gain a competitive advantage for the company. But how one does this depends on the firm's strategy and its competitive environment. So a major quality program is actually needed to identify clearly kadtong output requirement for a particular type of job. So para mag-design ka og work systems that are efficient, a manager needs to understand the processes required in the development of the products for their work unit. So dapat hibalo siya so that they will have a clear understanding of mga necessary tasks to the production of the desired output. So it would be difficult manggod to determine whether the work is understaffed or overstaffed if you don't know the necessary task needed and if you don't have a clear definition of the job. Okay, so that is why there's a job analysis. So we have to discuss each the reason why we have to do job analysis. Why is it important? Okay, actually, job analysis has um, several reasons. No, it is considered as a building block of anything nga ginahimo sa human resource management. So, the first reason for that is actually to specify the duties and responsibilities of the position. It examines what the employee will perform, what skills are needed, the condition under which work shall be done, and the range of difficulty or complexity of the action. The second reason for that is to provide job oriented recruitment and selection guides. Those in the recruitment and selection of employees must be familiar with the duties and responsibilities for the vacant position. So before you post a vacant position, you have to be clear. You have to know what are the specific duties and responsibilities of that position. So to identify which applicant is most qualified, it is necessary to determine the task that will be performed by the individual and depending or when we say the task, we will be talking about the skills, knowledge, and the ability of the applicant. The third reason why we do job analysis is to provide guides in operation based compensation determination. When we say compensation determination, that's the process of job evaluation that involves the relative peso value, so katong pila ang ibayad of each job to the organization para i-set up ang equitable pay structures. So nakadepende po diha pila may ibayad sa employee with this type of task or type of position. So, in order for us to get the peso value on jobs, it is necessary to get information about different jobs, which job deserves higher pay than the others. Okay, so mo na siyang dili gid equal ang sweldo sa manager and supervisor to the simple employee lang. So, naa siya kalainan because of the different tasks that they are performing. The fourth one is to provide information and tools for career planning and counseling. So if you know the specific task, you are able to make um, you can use you can use that information to do career planning and counseling. So career planning entails matching individual skills and aspirations um, that are or may become available in the organization. And kanang matching requires that those in charge of career planning know the skill requirements of the various jobs. So dapat hibalo ka. This allows them to guide individuals into jobs that will fit into their qualifications and where they will be happy and satisfied. Okay, so counseling refers to the giving of advice on problems that the employees meet in the performance of their tasks and duties in the positions where they are assigned. So there are actually companies that they do schedule nag-schedule sila coaching, counseling, because that way they will be able to gauge what's the skill of this person and if there's any possibility that they will be able to function better in other positions. So mana siya. And another reason why we do job analysis is to have a guide in the construction of performance evaluation criteria because it is important for the human resource department to evaluate the performance. So in order for us to build that evaluation criteria is we have to do a job analysis. Okay, so kanang performance criteria, it deals with getting information about how well each employee is performing his job in order to reward those who are effective, 'di ba? So, like for example, sa university, naapo na siya performance evaluation system that the students can perform, the teachers can also rate each other, and then the supervisor will also be able to rate each other. So, yung ana na siya i-measure because with that, makita niya kung kinsa tong nag-perform og maayo, mo to'y mahatagan og incentives. The other reason is the job analysis is going to serve as guide in methods improvement, diba? Para makahimo kag mga workflow improvement. So, job designs consist of different steps or processes. Job analysis provides the information to design the work process that is most effective in carrying out the tasks. So it will involve improving methods and developing more efficient systems of work. So it's very important to have workflows para hibalo ka like when this happen, what we should do. Let's say for example, if ni absent ang isa ka employee, kinsay mo puli siyang trabaho. And it's important nga na ay guide because let's say for example ni absent ang isa, ang nipuli hibalo siya unsaon pag-perform. 'Di ba? Mo nang naay mga manual, no naay mga workflow so that dili ma-disrupt ang production, dili maundang. Okay, so another reason is to obtain background information about working conditions. Okay, so it's important so that you will be able to know the environment of the work, the positive effects and the productivity, the morale of the workers, okay pa ba sila, ganahan pa ba sila matrabaho, and etc. Okay, so makita na siya sa job analysis. Another reason is to serve as guide in the development of training programs. So, since you were able to have this information, you will be able to conduct or develop the training program. So you know what skills that needs to be improved, what topics should be discussed in the training, what kind of training that will be conducted, because you have the specific, you have the what do you call comprehensive knowledge of the workflow, or the comprehensive knowledge of what everybody is doing, how they do it, etc. And next is to assist supervisors in the supervision of employees. Okay, so with this information, ang mga supervisor manggod, 'di ba, they will supervise man, so that they will be able to better supervise their employees. Dapat naa sila comprehensive nga knowledge ani. Right. Another reason is, or lastly, it is to provide the conceptual basis for position classifications to employee who will occupy the position. So the basis of any position title are the tasks. So before ang kanang mga title sa mga tao, ang basihan ana is kung unsa iyang function, unsa iyang task, unsa iyang duties, unsa iyang responsibilities to the job. So managers without proper job analysis might assign position titles that are not related to the functions of the position. Okay, so kung um, wala kay proper job analysis, posibleng ang imong mga title murag dili gyud siya mo reflect sa kung unsay task adto niya nga tao. Right? So those are the reasons nga nung mag-conduct of job analysis. Okay, so asa man mag-start ang job analysis program? The job analysis program starts with a careful I'm sorry, careful study of the organizational structure, di ba? I mentioned earlier that there is a vertical and horizontal interconnectedness of the the people. So organizational structure is often seen in organizational charts that convey the vertical and horizontal relationship of the two. So the type of organizational structure has implications on the design of the job. Diba? You have a management, what's that? Industrial organizational management subject. So you should be familiar with the type of organizational structure, because that depends on the what do you call that, relationships sa mga employees within the organization. And job analysis daw is the process of getting the detailed information about the tasks, the duties, and responsibilities of the job as seen in the organizational structure. So kung unsay na sa imong organizational structure, uh, didto nakabase or naa na siya kaakibat nga mga tasks, duties, and responsibilities. The job analysis also is a continuing program. Dili ni siya one-stop shop or one-time big time. Organizational structure changes due to the introduction of new technology in order to be competitive in the global economy. So any changes in structure, it carries additional duties and responsibilities or simplifications of functions. These changes need job redesigning to conform to the organizational needs for greater efficiency and productivity. Example is like for Caraga State University, started with NMSAT, then NMCAS, like Northern Mindanao College of Arts, Science, and Technology. And before, ang head lang nila is a supervisor. Okay, so as the years passed, uh, it became Caraga State University, and the head of the Caraga State University then was campus dean, but eventually it became a chance campus director. No, it changed, and then now currently we have the chancellor. So it changes, and with these changes, it also changes the organizational structure. So naa na karoy mga director, sa una wala man na, kuan lang principal, then campus dean, karon na anay mga director, and they have specific tasks. Okay, so meaning ang imong job analysis dili it does not mean that once you have done a job analysis now, it will not or you will already stop. No, because organizational structure changes. Once the organizational structure change, na siya kaakibat nga changes in the duties and responsibilities, and you also have now to continue to do job analysis. So it's never ending. Okay, so that's enough of that job analysis. We will talk about the role of the human resources in job evaluation. So what is our role in job evaluation? Um, Job analysis is not the sole responsibility of the human resource department. So meaning your role is not is not the sole what do you call that? It's not your sole responsibility. So dili lang ikaw, it is a cooperative effort of all operating departments. So agapay sana siya katuwang nimo ang mga managers, ang mga supervisors. The supervisors and managers must actually immediately inform the human resource department of any changes in the duties and responsibilities of the position due to the introduction of new technology or changes in the production process that improve production efficiency. Okay, because ang una magong maka-feel na are the supervisors and the managers. So if there are any changes, they have to coordinate with the human resource department. Some companies actually they hire analysts or consultants. And ganun mo hire man sila. The reason why they hire because the management consultants or an analyst are more objective. No, dili sila because they are coming from the outside. They are objective. Wala sila kanang wala padri-padrino, ano, wala sila subjective nga mga feelings. So on point, no, as they also have more experience in conducting the job analysis because they are exposed to different organizational systems. Kumbaga, mao man na ilang expertise. So they are already exposed to different companies. So different companies have different organizational systems. That's why other companies, they hire analysts or consultants to do job analysis or job evaluation. Okay, another reason is to avoid overstatement of some duties and functions of the different positions as they have great implications in the company's pay scale. So as mentioned earlier, ang ang isa ka position has a corresponding peso value, di ba? And the peso value depends on the task and duties of that position. So to avoid overstatement, no, nga maoro man da ini ang trabaho niya dako kay siyang sweldo. To avoid that, mo nang ang mga companies they hire someone from outside who are kanang gitawag nga analyst or consultant. Another is some HR practitioners are not very much knowledgeable in conducting job analysis, which is actually true. Dili gid tanan, no, okay, because human resource management is a new discipline, 'di ba? Something new lang siya. So wala pa kaayo tay mga and very very wide ang scope niya. So dili pa kaayo ta wala pa kaayo yung mga expert ana. Right? So those are the three main reasons nga nung mag-hire og job analyst or consultants. Okay, what are the qualifications of a job analyst? Sa may qualification niya, anong uh, mag-hire man ang mga company o mga job analyst. So number one qualification is that he or she must have good knowledge of organizational system, right? So organizational structures, good intelligence and analytical skills. No, kay mag-analyze magyugaana, good judgment and acumen, clarity and facility of language, familiarity with organizational and company policies, good personality and good relationships with others in the organization, tact and diplomacy in getting along with others. Okay, so murag ideal gyud kay siya no, dapat dili siya bias, very objective dapat ang isa ka job analyst. So what are the factors to consider in job analysis? So may mga dapat i-consider. Okay, so when you do a job analysis, you have to consider the job requirements. Okay, which means na you have to know what the job requires the employee to do. Okay, so ang job requirements may involve the activities that workers have to do, the importance of the duties or activities, the amount of time that is involved in doing the job and other minor duties required of the job. So, isa na sa mga factor nga imong tan-awon ang mga job requirements. Then, another factor is effectiveness. How effectively does the employee perform his assigned duties and responsibilities? So dapat nimo na nakita. This is going to involve the details on how the workers perform their assigned task, the materials and essential tools and equipment required to do the task, the skills nga required, and the methods and procedures involved in doing the work. So that's the effectiveness. Another factor is the purpose. So why should the worker do the job? No, this covers the reason why the employee has to do the task assigned to him. Say purpose of the job in relation with those of other jobs in the organization. The tasks should justify its contributions to the effective and efficient functions in the organizational workstations. Another is the supervision. So supervision is required in the what is the supervision required in the job? So the details of supervision requires the amount of supervision involved or the assistance needed in carrying out the job, the extent of employees' authority in carrying out the functions, and the extent of relationships of the job with those of others in the organizational setup. So unsa man nga klaseng supervision ang kinahanglan? Kinahanglan bag ang supervisor mag-spend og dako nga time sa imo to guide you in performing the task or middle or kanang katamtaman lang or less lang ang supervision. Another factor to consider is the working environmental conditions. So this actually deals with the conditions that is prevailing in the workplace like kana exposure sa hazards, sa heat or other elements nga maka-affect sa performance nila sa job. So this may also include the conditions of comfort or discomfort while the employee is performing the task assigned to him. Okay, so those are the factors that we have to consider in doing job analysis. Next, we will be discussing why is job title important. Kay ganina ra nato gi-mention that in job analysis we have to know the specific sana siya description sa job. So, ang title should be representative of the task and duties nga naka-entail sa posisyon. Okay? So, ngano important man ni siya. Ang job title manggod will will clarify the employee's line of movements in the organizational structure and they should also be grouped in job families in the line and staff organization. So if you can remember, we have an organizational structure. In the organizational structure, na usahay, say for example, production, human resource management, research and development. So pag those are the main kintahay mo na yung mga families, and under them, ang mga position under them should be related. So if you're under the research and development, so your position should be related to the research and development department. For human resource management, it should be related to human resource management. So mo nang importante ang job title. That's very important. And what are the guidelines in job title selection? So sa may mga guidelines nga imong i-follow. These are very simple guidelines. Number one, the title must be standard used in the industry. So dili siya pwede pod nga kuan ka ng, although free ka nga mohimo og title, but mura pod siya dili free kay dapat standard used siya sa industry para murag accepted or murag understood na dayon pagka na imong title. And second is it must be suggestive of the nature and functions of the job. So, kung may kang supervisor, so therefore, ang trabaho niya is naga-supervise, di ba? If manager, naga-manage. Pag marketing director, meaning you are managing all your marketing employees. Ano siya? So, suggestive. And it must be different from other jobs and based on major duties of employees who hold the position. So dili siya dapat nga bisa lahi-lahi siya o kanang unsa pa na siya. I mean, dili siya pwedeng ang tanan I mean the same tanan ng ilang title pero lahi-lahi sila task. Okay, so kung supervisor ka, supervisor of let's say for example, molding supervisor. Okay, so meaning, ikaw ang supervisor sa mga taga-mold. Kaya naghimo mong clay or pots, no? Kamo ang naga-mold. Lahi po tong trabaho po sa supervisor in packaging, di ba? Supervisor sa quality control. Ano na siya? So, um, it must be different from other jobs. So, kung lahi ang imong job, lahi po ng imong title. The job title must be brief but suggestive of its function. So, dapat brief siya, mubo lang, pero suggestive siya sa iyang function. So, dili po pwedeng taas kaayo ang title niya. Right? So, kung mapansin niyo ang mga title is Chief Executive Officer, Chief Operating Officer, Chief Financial Officer, CFO, unsa pa man, Human Resource Manager, di ba? Supervisor, Coordinator, may nga na siya nga mga title. Okay? So those are the things that you have to consider when selecting a title for the position. Okay, so let's go to unsa may nature sa job analysis. Because job analysis focuses on two important data or information that managers must have. And those are, one is the job description, second is the job specifications, di ba? When you did your activity, I've discussed with other groups nga lahi ang description, lahi pod ang specification sa job. So, what are the uses of job descriptions? Giunsa man ni siya paggamit? Job descriptions helps identify and distinguish one job from the other jobs. So, mo na may tag supervisor, okay, or line supervisor. Okay, and job description ana will be supervisor supervising the kintay packaging line nga na siya. So isa ka linya ra ang iyang is supervise. Okay, so it helps identify and distinguish. And then it is also used as a tool in the proper employee recruitment, selection, and training. Okay, so that you will be able to choose the right the right person, dapat na kay right description. Para pag nag-interview ka, you will be able to gauge asa siya nababagay. It also helps establish job relationships within the salary bracket. Okay, because pag naka job description, depende na og unsa ka bug-aton ang iyang task sa description, nakadepende diha kung pila pod ang iyang salary. Asa nga bracket siya nabilong sa salary. It also serves as a guide in structural departmentalization. Pag may yung tag departmentalization, ganun bitang um, ah, kanang naa kay murag mother department. So kung research and development, so mao na siya na under ka diha akat. So ang tanan nga position under that research and development should be all related to research and development. And it could be used also as a guide in the horizontal and vertical promotion of employees, thereby developing and promoting morale. So, magamit na nimo siyang description. Pag may tag horizontal, ano tawag na? Horizontal promotion. So, meaning, kung kini ang organizational structure, kini kita ang CEO, mura kag ni balhin ra sa lain nga department. So, from finance ka, then you were transferred to the human resource management department or human resource department as a manager. So, kung diri ka sa finance nga rank and file lang, pagbalhin mo ditoan, himo kang manager na vertical pod from simpleng employee papuntang supervisor, papuntang manager, and papuntang director and etc. So, mo na gamit sa job description. How about job specification? Ang job specification, it specifies the qualifications as to kanang education, training, experience, and the statement as to the nature of the environment where the employee is assigned. Okay, so mo na job specification. Mo nang nakabutang dito, job specification or requirements must be graduate of a 4-year degree course, mga yan na, no, with in situ, etc., etc. And the job specification serves as a guide in interviewing applicants. So, pag nag-interview ka, if you have a specification, dito ni mo tan-awon, no, kung pasok ba siya sa imong specification. And then it is also a guide in the proper selection of the employees as to his qualifications for the proposed vacant position. Lastly, it is used in the assessment of employees for training and development. Okay, so makita po na nimo, let's say for example na hire na siya, then you have a specification sa kanang a job nga wala sa iyang skill. So pwede na nimo siyang um, i-enroll dito sa training nga dapat na siya skill or dapat mag-gain niya ang skill nga needed. Okay, what are the methods in job analysis? There is actually no walay best method in job analysis, but the method to use depends upon the purpose of the analysis, the time element devoted to it, and the amount of money or budget that the company would like to spend for the activity. Okay, so walay best method pero nakadepende na sa nature sa organization. And there are several methods that are being used. Number one is the job questionnaire method. Ang job questionnaire method is um, this method, ang importante ani is the accuracy of job information. So dapat accurate. So ang job analyst ani will prepare the questionnaire based on the purpose of the job analysis. No, the form nga gamiton ini is carefully prepared based on the simple understanding of the employees who will answer them. And the set of questions contains information as to unsay purpose, clear-cut instructions, then and the procedure and how to accomplish the questionnaire. So, sa ibuhaton ani, ang questionnaire, i-distribute na siya sa mga supervisor nga ang supervisor pod mag-require sa iyang employee to answer the questionnaire. And the supervisor will also review the information as to its accuracy, kung sakto ba. He talks with the employee concerned on the information which he thinks does not conform to his judgment. Right? So, mo na isa sa mga method paghimo sa job analysis. Maghatag og questionnaire. Nanay set of questions, mupili na lang ang employee. With the guidance, of course, i-review na siya sa supervisor before it will be given to the job analyst. And second method is the interview method. So kini kanang interviewon ka no one face to face, one on one. Okay? The interview method is kini nga method man god is commonly used for blue collar jobs as the employee may not be able to answer the questionnaire. Okay. The job analyst gets the information by interviewing the employee about his work or the immediate supervisor. Okay, so mo na siya. Instead of questionnaire, i-interview na lang ka. And the next one is a combination of interview and questionnaire method. So, na-interview, pwede ka maghatag ng questionnaire. After ka maghatag og questionnaire, you still do an interview later. Mura na lang siya follow up or confirmation kung sakto ba gyud tong gi-answer niya dito sa questionnaire. The last method is the observation and interview method. So, kini nga method, it involves the uh, observation of the worker at the job site, no, and in their station. So, obserbahan sila while they are working. The observations are noted while the employee is performing the task assigned to them. And most of the time, ang time and motion study is involved po unsa kadugay niya gihimo complete ang isa ka task. So ang after sa observation, ang job analyst will do an interview both sa worker and the supervisor para i-verify ang information na nag-gather. Ang sakto ba niya akong naobserbahan? Mao ba ni siya? So para accurate, no, para makabuo ka og human resource management program which is accurate and sound. Okay, so um, that's it for this chapter. But before that, I'm going to leave you these questions that you have to answer and submit next week. So, number one is job analysis important and why or why not? And why do we conduct a job analysis? And you just need to explain that. If you have any questions, you know where to post it. Thank you.